So I know you're already looking at the title of this next video and you're probably wondering what does TMMT actually mean? So it's an abbreviation I created for the method that I use to train my clients. And what it stands for is technique, then mind to muscle, and then tempo. Because when you follow those three rules, when it comes to weightlifting, okay, not specifically for strength training, some degree of it, yes, and I'll get into that in another video. But when it comes down to doing regular repetitions or metabolic training and having a weight that you can utilize to get a number of reps in, doing this technique and just following this set of rules is going to allow you to not only perform the exercise correctly, but it's going to keep you in line in order to make sure you're getting the most benefits out of the workout. And I'm actually going to have workouts on here to show you exactly what I mean, to give you examples, but I want to do a quick video on it and just show you here as well to get you into the mind frame of how it works. Now, in this example here, I'm doing a bicep curl, right? And what you're going to do is the first part is the technique. So how to perform the exercise correctly. When you're doing a bicep curl, you're keeping your back straight, elbows are by the side, chest is slightly forward. You're going to elevate your arm out and in front and then up until your forearm hits the bottom of your bicep or until you can't lift it anymore. And then you're going to bring it back down, right? That's the technique of doing a bicep curl. Most of the time, everybody knows that. They generally know how to perform it to a higher degree where you're getting the most benefit out of it. And that's how the exercise is going to be properly done, right? You want to make sure that you're keeping that as stable as possible and that your elbow doesn't move forward, because that means you're engaging your shoulder and we don't want that, okay? So that's the first part. That's T, that's technique. Now when it comes to mind to muscle, now when I explain this to people, I'm always letting them know that you can get better at activating your muscle over time. Some people are good at this. Some people are good at doing this right up front. Other people take a little bit more time to get used to it and to get better at doing it with different exercises and with different body parts. I understand, you know, this is just for the sake of the video, but I understand when you're doing a lot of repetitions and it gets hard, your body starts to recruit other muscles and you might even sway a little bit because of how hard it gets. And because of how much tension is in the muscle, it's going to engage anyways. I totally get that. I'm just trying to create a point here for people to understand this concept, especially if they're new to working out, so that they have some foundation to go by, okay? So just as an example, when you're doing biceps, you want to just focus on the bicep muscle, try to disengage using any other body part, and then as you're bringing it up, you're going to focus on squeezing the bicep. So you're going to squeeze the grip of the dumbbell and you're going to press your forearm against your bicep and then control it on the way down until you straighten your arm completely, okay? And doing that over and over and over is going to make it second nature to you to be able to engage the bicep more, okay? Another good example is when you're doing a squat, as I'm showing you here. You want to, as you're going down and as you're going up, you want to imagine you're trying to press your feet through the floor, okay? And you want to focus, even though your foot is flat on the ground, okay? Your heel's always going to be flat, the front part of your foot's always going to be flat. You want to imagine you're trying to press through the heel and the ball of the foot. And the more that you do this and utilize this concept for your legs, okay, when you're doing a squat or when you're doing a lunge, when you're doing a deadlift, whatever, it's going to help you focus on pressing your foot firmly on the floor and engaging your lower body more, okay? Now, again, just to touch base on it very briefly, you're going to be utilizing and working your muscles anyways, but utilizing these small little hacks and these small techniques is going to allow you to be able to engage those muscles more. And the more you do this over time, the more connection with that muscle you're going to get. And the last part is T, and it stands for tempo, right? And the way you control your tempo is basically your speed. So while inputting the first two parts of the three rules, the third one is going to seal it all for you when you control the speed, okay? So generally speaking, which I'm going to show you in those example videos that you're going to see in a few videos from now in this part of the series, it's going to be basically with 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down. So just as an example to show you with biceps again, when you're performing the exercise and you're making sure your technique is good and you're concentrating on your muscle and trying to perform the exercise as best as possible and doing what you need to do, you're going to count from when the arm is extended all the way to the top, a 3-second tempo. So it's going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to pause for like a split second, squeeze, and then go down 1, 2, and 3. And the more you do this and the slower that you go, it's going to cause more tension to build in the muscle. And we like tension when it comes to muscle when it comes to building muscle, because that means more fibers get torn, there's more blood that rushes into the actual muscle, into the area itself, and it causes over time, very incrementally, more growth, right? So I typically like to do this as a standard, right? There's a lot of other techniques I always show to my clients and I always do for myself. This is just the starters, generally speaking, that I get them to do. But I'll have them do anywhere between 3 to 4, generally 3 to 4 repetitions of this. And then after that, I get them to pump out a number of repetitions, which you will see in the example videos. But this is what you want to include, and this is good, especially for somebody who's just starting off at the gym, to incorporate. So it gives them something to go by. And also, you know, you're going to be utilizing your muscles and engaging the exercises in a proper manner as well. All right, guys, like every other video, work with one another, help each other out. This is a community where we're gonna encourage one another to help each other. If you have a question, ask it. If you have an answer, you feel like you have something that could help somebody else, chances are there's somebody wanting to know that answer. Send it out into the chat, and I will see you guys in the next video.